In most Asian households, women are still almost solely responsible for care work and household chores. Most women spend a lot of time and energy preparing meals for their families, going to the market, cooking, and even fetching fresh water for cooking and for drinking. As the impacts of the climate crisis on our food systems intensify, and inflation rates increase, these responsibilities carried by women become much heavier. For decades, experts have been telling us that a rapid and total phase out of fossil fuels is very key to addressing climate change. The fight for a rapid, just, and equitable transition out of fossil fuels and other harmful energy sources is already gaining ground, but the world has still far to go. There is only a small window of time left to prevent catastrophic climate change, and it is narrowing fast. Globally, the use of fossil fuels and firewood for cooking persists in the majority of rural and urban households, and this problem is largely ignored. Women are left with no choice but to use coal, gas, oil, charcoal, and firewood in cooking meals for their families. These sources of energy harm not only our families and households and our communities. These sources of energy contribute to global warming and climate change and thus impact all people and the entire planet. There are already energy sources that are safe, affordable, and climate-friendly alternatives. While these alternatives exist, governments and public financial institutions are failing to provide them. We call on all governments to address and be responsive to the burdens and challenges of women in the face of the climate crisis, and this includes providing clean, renewable, affordable energy sources for their cooking and household chores. We demand the recognition of the importance of care work and the socialization and redistribution of responsibilities for care work, including cooking and household chores and caring for children. These responsibilities are not just for women to bear. These are responsibilities of both women and men. And most importantly, these are society's responsibilities that governments must fulfill by providing social services.
We demand the recognition, reduction, socialization, and redistribution of women's unpaid care work, including food production and preparation.
Women's rights to assess and share in the stewardship and control of food, land, and water resources must be upheld.
We demand our government's urgent actions towards a rapid, equitable, and just transition of energy systems away from fossil fuels and other harmful energy.
We have to make sure the actions are geared towards empowering people and communities and give primacy to the rights and needs of the people, including women.
We call on governments of the global north to provide adequate climate finance as part of their reparations for the huge climate debt they owe the people most affected by the climate crisis.
We demand all corporations and international financial institutions to end all forms of support for fossil fuels and to promote sustainable and renewable energy sources.